Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Combat Chatters podcast. Today I'm joined by Soli because Ferg wasn't able to make it.
Again.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Yeah. So basically we're just gonna briefly touch on last week's card. We've got a massive upcoming card to talk about, and then
Big.
and then obviously loads of news and just a couple random talking points we're gonna go through today. But last week's card obviously started off with a bang. I think it was 6 first round finishes in a row.
Terence McKinney getting one again.
Yeah, Terence McKinney obviously getting a big win, getting back on track. There was also Dumont Blackshear with the twister, only the third ever, and he's stepping up to fight this weekend again. I'm pretty sure I've heard that. So obviously, what a gangster that guy's looking like right now. But so basically we're just gonna go over the last 3 fights we went over last week. Starting off with the Khalil Roundtree fight. Obviously, not loads to talk about, but a beautiful knockout.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on his performance?
Just all round solid. Really came out, looked like the more imposing fighter.
Definitely.
You know, he utilised his right hook
Yeah.
as Dackhouse was coming in.
Yeah, clean.
And then before you know it, good night, Irene.
I mean, I thought Chris was looking decent, landing some good combinations. Obviously, Fergal brought up last week the possibility of Dackhouse actually going for a single leg, and he did try. So Roundtree's takedown defense looking good.
Yeah, he got pinned up into the cage, and he need Dackhouse on the way out. Yeah.
And obviously a massive right hand. One thing you said is you like the way he kept checking his hand down when they were in distance. Yeah. Just a rangefinder and just basically telling him to piss off. And a massive right hand. Me and Phil both called that first round knockout. Left hand, sorry.
Left hand, yeah.
Yeah, me and Phil both called that first round knockout. So banging start to the card, but start to the ones we called anyway. And then obviously the Cub Swanson Hakeem Dawodu fight, a very close fight. I think your thoughts were the same as mine on who you thought the winner was, which we both thought Dawodu won. But what's your thoughts on just the heart that Cub shows in these fights, being the age that he is?
Mate, to come out here and fight like younger up and comers still and contenders,
like a legit prospect.
Yeah, it says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, he doesn't want to stop fighting yet, clearly.
Yeah, definitely not. And he's pretty 50-50. Obviously, he got the decision win, which is huge for his career. I mean, 5 years' time, we're not going to look at that and be like, oh, that was a dodgy decision. I mean, he got a win over a big prospect.
It's not one of those where you look at it and go, an absolute robbery. But I mean, I think I'd lean more to Dawodu, to be honest.
He was just a bit tighter in the pocket, landing shots. Yeah. And at range, even the jabs, the leg kicks, he was chewing Cub's leg up. Cub obviously got the takedown, got the back in the third round. Do you think he should have wrestled more early on?
Yeah, definitely, because you look at the way he transitioned onto the back after going in for the takedown. I mean,
clean.
Hopped up onto the back.
How long has that guy been doing jiu-jitsu now? Probably like 15 years, 20 years.
He's high level.
Yeah, black belt. But yeah, obviously that was a great fight. Probably one of the fights in the main card. And the main event, obviously Vicente Luque coming back from the very bad brain injury last time out. But how impressed were you with his performance? Although he had so much time out and the head injury, obviously.
It was good. Just a well-rounded performance, control time.
Yeah.
Decent striking exchanges. Like I said earlier when we were chatting about it, it's just a well-rounded MMA fight. You know, Dos Anjos did well.
I feel like Dos Anjos just tried to wrestle a bit too much with the bigger guy, and he has struggled to wrestle with these bigger guys at welterweight. So maybe do you think he should have struck more? I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So. Yeah,
he's got it in his locker.
Yeah, I mean,
he saw it. He did get through to Luque a few times. Luque responded to him.
Luque's defense looked a lot better than it has been as well. His head movement's obviously not going to be that. I think he's like 38, 39, so he's not going to just develop that. But his footwork and just the way he evaded that way was impressive.
Yeah.
But we're just going to briefly touch on that card. Obviously, got UFC 292 to talk about. The cards took a few big hits, a few pullouts. Obviously, Cody Garbrandt pulled out his fight. Geoff Neal pulled out. I think there's been a few more as well. But there's some great fights. Obviously, Marlon Vera fighting Pedro Muniz, two veterans of the bantamweight division. None of them ever been finished in the UFC. I think this has just got maybe if not a 3 round war, because I think Vera does start a bit slower.
Yeah.
Pedro Munoz is like capable in every position of just a well-rounded MMA fighter. But where who can you do you think Vera will just impose his strike and will like he has against Rob Font, or do you think he'll start slower and then maybe that's how Munoz can take the fight over?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see it going that way. I mean, Cheeto's his last 2 fights are Cruz and Font.
Yeah, and he lost to he just lost to Corey Sandhagen, didn't he?
Yeah, he
grappled. He got grappled. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been fighting high level guys recently,
and he's been up until his last fight. He's been looking phenomenal, and I don't think people should just write him off. But I think it does play into Pedro Munoz's hands that it's only a 3 round fight. Obviously, Cheeto usually there's a lot of fights where he's losing, like the Frankie Edgar fight, for example, when he finds big knockouts late on in the round.
Yeah, exactly. Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz the same thing.
Yeah.
Probably might have lost the decision if it went to the scorecards.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I worry for Vera. If he can't, he needs to come out and start.
Yeah, he needs to come out quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can find the shots. I don't think he can finish him though. None of them are going to finish each other, in my opinion.
No, do you reckon it'll be quite a technical fight?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It could even turn. We could see a bit of a war when it gets into like the late second round. It could
like a doggy war or a
I
technical war.
I think it could get doggy because
Yeah.
Cheeto's going to want this win so bad. Obviously, Pedro Munoz beating a good up and comer like Gutierrez in his last fight. I think they're both just going to want this so bad. It's massive in their careers. I mean, Pedro Munoz has been in the top 10 for so long. He was fighting like prime Rafael Santos and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean that just says
it just shows how long he's been there. But if you had to give a prediction, who are you going for in this one?
I might go Cheeto decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheeto decision. It just seems like a safe bet.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's a safe bet, but
could be a close one. I could be looking at a close one on the cards.
I think I'm actually going to go with the opposite side. I'm going to go Pedro Munoz decision, and I think Cheeto 5 round fight. I'd pick him here. I think he'd find his shots later on, but he really needs to come out quick. If he does, then I think he'll win.
Yeah,
but
so if you're saying if he comes out and he develops slowly,
I think it could be like a mental barrier because. Like, we see how he can lose his temper with some of those decisions he's lost in the past. I remember the Song Yadong one, he wouldn't even shake his hand, he ran out the cage. And it's just little things like that. Is it like in his own head too much early on, maybe? But, he works with Jason Perillo.
Yeah, I mean, some fighters, they don't like to come off straight out of the mud. You've got that feeling their opponent out and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And sometimes it's just naturally how they fight. They can't get themselves into it. They have to slowly...
I mean, whenever I've trained, I've always wanted to be more aggressive, and I can't either. It's just a natural thing.
So you've got to think, you develop that for your whole career.
Yeah.
Of just, I mean, you see some fighters, they just...
Yeah. I mean, like the Robbie Lawlers, I love the fighters that just thrive in a war, like Dustin Poirier, the way he talks about it. It's just, these fighters, just really want to be in that 5th round slugging it out.
I mean, even recently in Skate, he still came out.
Yeah,
he came out 100 miles an hour, mate. Yeah, that's what I mean. But some fighters aren't like that. They come out
slower,
more of like a sport.
Yeah.
Some fights are a sportsman, like MMA match, and some is just a fight.
So I think I'm going to go Pedro Munoz. I think it might be like a split decision, really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this fight will be a banger. Obviously, getting on to the next fight on this card, we have Neil Magny stepping in on 1 week's notice.
Yeah.
Just saving another. He's done this so many times, just save fights. Obviously, we still got Ian Gary, which is, I think, if the cards in Boston, you have the big Irish support in Boston as well. So
Ian Gary. What's it? This is his 5th fight.
Fifth fight.
His 5th fight. He's coming off 4 wins.
Yeah, 2 by knockout.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think of the matchup?
I actually reckon it's a decent matchup, to be fair, because I think. But Ian Gary's quite a dynamic fighter. Yeah. He's got a lot of promise, a lot of talent.
A lot of weapons as well.
Yeah, a lot of weapons. Neil Magny, though, I still think Neil Magny's got something in his locker.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Jeff Neal literally a few fights ago. So, I mean, obviously, I still think Jeff Neal would have been the harder fight for Ian Gary.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
He's got the recent win over him. Neil Magny does. So,
yeah.
I mean,
you were saying how Magny's on Rodriguez's.
Yeah, I think Magny is on the sort of D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez level.
Yeah.
And obviously we saw what Ian Gary did. But I think the difference is is Neil Magny's been in there against every young up and comer the UFC has in this welterweight
Yeah, I
division.
mean, he's probably a bit. Would you say he's bit of a better striker than
Yeah,
D-Ron?
yeah, maybe more effective.
Yeah, definitely more effective.
Yeah, he has sort of a weird style, but he managed to
works.
grind out these wins, doesn't he? And that could happen again. But
I mean, I don't want to say it's like like a test for Ian Gary, but in a way, it's kind of like
it's
a
a
step up.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think, but I think Ian Gary's going to win.
Yeah, do you?
I think I could see it. I could see it playing out as a decision.
Yeah.
To Ian Gary. We've seen him pull a few decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you win against Gabe Green decision?
Yeah, and also against I think it was I can't remember the last guy for like Song Kinan or someone like that.
Yeah.
I mean that was like the last minute, 40 seconds he finished him. He's not in there to rush a finish. He's a very
but if
smart
it comes,
fighter.
if it presents itself. Yeah.
Neil Magny's only ever been finished once in a 3-round fight.
Who was that against?
Oh god, it was years ago now. I can't remember who. I wasn't even watching UFC. I don't think when that last happened. I don't actually think I was. But yeah, so obviously it just shows how tough he is. Stepping on a week's notice, doing the UFC a big favour.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna go Ian Gary decision.
Yeah. If somebody presents itself to him, but I don't think Magny's that sort of fighter.
No, and I also think if Ian Gary is as special as he thinks he is, he's gonna smoke Neil Magny in round one.
He's got that.
Yeah, like that aura
edge.
about him.
Yeah, that aura. Yeah, definitely.
I just don't think he's going to hit him with shots early on, and then when the person doesn't go away, like Daniel Rodriguez did, when Neil Magny's still just grinding, and he just makes it an ugly fight.
Yeah, I think he's an exciting fighter, and there's a lot to come from him.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think, but I'm going to go Ian Gary as well, obviously.
Decision, yeah.
Yeah, decision. Now, the first title fight of this card, Weili Zhang against Amanda Lemos. We think this is a lot tighter fight than most people do. Obviously, you can just tell by the way Amanda Lemos turns her punches over. She has that different pop to most women in these divisions.
There's something about her power that's not right. How do you think
Weili deals with that? I don't think Weili would have ever fought someone who hits that hard. Rose stat wise hits like the second highest out of any woman, but that's because they're a strong witch. She's so fast, pure power. Amanda Lemos looks like I would not want to be hit by her.
You see her when she hits.
Yeah.
Her body, like the way her body ripples. Like you see her arms.
Yeah.
She's got that wiriness about her. Like I think there's been a talking point of like Pereira being, even though in his weight class he's a big dude, being wiry.
Yeah.
That wiriness and like you said, the way they turn punches. And I don't know. I think if, like you were saying earlier, if Weili utilises leg kicks,
she's got to fight strategic, hasn't she?
Yeah, and I don't know. I could see Weili at some point maybe coming in fast.
Yeah, blitzing. She does like to, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I think if that happens and Lemos catches her, maybe she earns a bit of respect for Lemos and then fights smarter, or she eats it and it doesn't go to plan. I do think that's a possibility.
So, do you think, no matter what the outcome, do you think Weili will be put in some trouble at some point in this fight?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, Angela Hill,
yeah.
high level woman, would still put
she in
an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, but obviously, I think the smarter pick would be Weili. I think a lot of the people who are really smart when it comes to fighting, and I've been watching a lot of breakdowns, a lot of them see a way to victory for Amanda Lemos. Like you said, Weili does like to burst in. Naturally, she's a smart fighter, but she loves to be aggressive. And against someone like Amanda Lemos, that can get you hurt, like we've seen multiple times. And
she's patient. She's so patient, mate.
She waits for counters as well. Like, she's always waiting for you to throw. She won't go first, and Weili will go first. And we've seen Weili caught before. That was when Rose went first, so maybe we'll see Lemos come out quick and try and blitz. But
I think if she gasses Lemos as well.
She does tired. She does get tired. Yeah, I mean in that Angela Hill fight, she was dominating that first round, and then all of a sudden the fight just switched because she put so much out, and she can get carried away. And if she hurts Weili, and Weili's of that experience level where you can't put her away. She's been hurt in plenty of fights. I mean, the war she had with Joanna in their first fight. Yeah. Like, their faces were not the same afterwards.
Oh my gosh,
that was
mate.
one of the craziest fights.
That was disgusting, honestly. But with Lemos as well, she's got ground game.
Yeah, she's good on the ground. I think Whaley, her wrestling has come on a lot further. She showed that against Carla Espada, who's one of the better grapplers.
I think we can see a good fight.
Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna go straight ahead and just say I think it's gonna be very competitive early on, but I think Whaley's gonna fight smart, can wrestle in the right moment, strike from a distance, and I'm gonna go 4th round TKO Whaley Zhang.
I just want to be controversial, to be honest.
Just say it with chest if you think
mate,
it,
so
man.
basically, I'm going to go Lemos, round 3,
Nice.
right hand.
Straight
I'm
right.
sticking with that. I'm sticking with that.
Mate, that would shake up the team if that happens.
Look, I can see where you're coming from, but I'm just
I
going to throw something else in the mix.
get it as well. I think.
But I think, I could see it getting outclassed, to be honest. But I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, I mean, Whaley's on that
That's it.
skill level, but yeah.
I just want to see an upset, to be honest.
Well,
I want a bit of controversy in my life.
When was the last big upset? Obviously, Grasso Shevchenko was a big one. That was like when Nunes lost her bout. That was a crazy one.
That was just
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. We've done an upset recently.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. There definitely has been a big one recently. That
We
I'm
just
not
watched
thinking
too
about.
much UFC.
Yeah. It just gets jumbled up. We've now really done it. But obviously a huge main event.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone very excited for it. It feels like Sean O'Malley's finally in this moment from all the way back to Contender Series when you had
We've watched this kid like
literally his first fight, and then
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg on the commentary teams.
Mate,
Mate,
dude. It's
how many years was that? Like 2018.
Yeah, mate. He came onto the scene, mate, just knocking dudes out. Again, wiry.
Yeah.
Just got that
Skinny,
pop.
quick. I mean, Paul Felder said on the Joe Rogan podcast, he was like, the guys he always feared fighting was the long, skinny dudes. For some reason, they always hit the hardest.
It's because they got that pivot to them, they got that reach that swings out.
But obviously, he's got a very hard test on his hands. Aljamain Sterling, many people this week calling him the best bantamweight of all time in the UFC. I have to agree, to be honest.
I mean, it's been a road for him as well. This is quite an interesting matchup in terms of the way these
they've both
got into the title, like
because O'Malley feels like maybe been kind of fast tracked that way.
Maybe, but
then again, he's fought so much in the UFC. He's been in the UFC for years, and people can say what they want about that Peter Yan fight. If that showed anything, it showed Sean O'Malley's legit.
He can bang.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the thing with O'Malley. It's always been you can knock these dudes out. You can go in there, but can he fight?
Yeah.
Like you know, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I always thought with O'Malley, like he looks really good against the Lucas Pivers and Chris Martinos and all these people. But when you have to stay on your basics, stay technical with someone like Peter Yan, how good are you at just jabbing back and forth?
Yeah,
and he showed that. I mean, he turned Peter Yan into a wrestler. Let's be real. I think he shot like almost 20 takedowns in 3 rounds.
He dealt with it though.
Yeah, I mean, I saw an interesting video this week, just pointing out all the times O'Malley actually cheated in the Peter Yan fight, and the fence grabs, fingers in the gloves, constantly helping him get out of bad positions. I think the ref will be watching out for that in this fight.
Yeah, I think it's the same approach.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. I
think Aljo might utilise wrestling
straight away.
Because, I mean, O'Malley's, this is the thing, he's got that.
Yeah, he's got that spark
flashy.
factor. Yeah, like he can just catch you.
But, I mean, I think with Aljo and fighters like that, they're on that level where they know. That's the thing. And they can, if they want, they can nullify it. But, I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I think
never know.
There's a chance Sean comes out and knocks Aljo out.
Yeah,
he could do that to anyone. Aljo also at times, let's be real, it's hard to watch his stand up at some point. It's not bad, but he leaves himself in very bad positions. Obviously it's improved a lot. I thought against Henry Silva his stand up looked way better than it did in his previous fights. And when you're fighting a grappler, it sometimes brings your striking level down as well because you're just always expecting to wrestle. And then, Aljo's going to come out and he'll get in close, he'll throw kicks, he'll throw knees. He's going to come and fight him and try drag him into a real fight. Yeah, and obviously he's going to get him to the ground. But
I mean, where do you see it going though? I mean, is it going to be a five round decision? I can't see that.
I think it ends in 2 rounds either way. Whoever wins it will end in 2 rounds, I think.
What, sub for Aljo?
Sub or ground and pound for Aljo or knockout for Sean.
Yeah.
If it goes past 2 rounds, then it should be Sean getting mauled and surviving. That's
Yeah.
what I think. But
I mean, if could you see maybe a possibility of like, say we get to round 4, Aljo's been grappling, he's tired, they both get back up, and then
I mean, they've both shown to be tired. Sean, I think fights a bit better when he's tired. I thought Aljo against. I mean, I know referring to the Peter Yan one fight when he got the disqualification knee.
yeah,
He looked awful. But that was a long time ago. He'd even admit he looked awful. I don't think I'd be offending him by saying that.
no, definitely not.
Yeah, and he's admitted that. He's looked amazing ever since that fight as well. Obviously beating Peter in the rematch, beating Dillashaw, beating Cejudo. I think that might be one more.
I mean, this is O'Malley's first
title fight.
and first time looking at 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
that's a
to
big
to be a
thing.
title fight for 5 rounder as well.
Not
yeah.
even the first main event in 5
No.
rounds. Like this is
I think he always refused to do main events unless
just because of that.
Yeah, or just because you're not paying him more to do a main event than you are a 3 rounder.
Yeah.
So he just.
I think there is round 2 is going to be a round to look out for.
Yeah, I think. What do you think? How do you think it looks if he just takes Sean down straight away?
I'll probably go to bed.
I think
I mean, we could be in for a bit of a.
obviously Sean's jiu-jitsu is meant to be quite underrated. He's subbed. I can't remember. He subbed a really legendary guy who I should really know the name of. It's like Takamori or someone like that in a jiu-jitsu competition a while ago.
Not Imanari.
No.
When Imanari was it?
No. I will find the guy, but
But that MMA jiu-jitsu is just different, mate.
yeah, and
Like with someone like Aljo as well. But
yeah.
I just don't want to see him get thrown around.
Takanori Gomi.
Yeah.
Submitted in a grappling tournament. But yeah, I mean, I think Gomi was like 45 at the time. Aljo's in his prime. He's a massive for the weight class. I think he walks around at 170, fights at 135. So he got a brutal weight cut, which could play a part. But I think we got to go with our predictions for this fight. I'm gonna go Aljamain Sterling. I'm gonna go second round TKO. I think.
You reckon? What ground
I
punches?
think I'll take that back and just pound him out. That's what I'm going with. What are you saying? You really want to pick Sean, don't you? I do want Sean to win.
Like, are we doing this on like us being smart?
Yeah, no, we got to pick.
Yeah, alright, yeah. Or not me being
biased.
Can I say what I want after?
Yeah.
Alright, right. I'm probably gonna go you, but I'm gonna say round 4, Aljo. Probably.
You think Sean will survive? You think he'll?
I can see him getting to the 3rd.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe keeping away in the first, stuff like that, and like just dealing for the first 2 rounds with the grappling. I think he can do that.
Yeah.
And then round 3, you're going to see a big change, maybe of like, right, Sean's getting tired, and then
I think I might.
He'll survive round 3.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say round 4.
I think that's a decent
Aljo sub.
Yeah, because I might be writing off his grappling a bit, but even if your grappling's good, it doesn't stop. I mean.
Yeah.
He obviously fought Henry Cejudo, who's a gold medalist in the Olympic wrestling. He fought another silver medalist who was an Olympic wrestler as well and dominated them on the ground. Can't remember the guy, but no matter who you are, he's going to take you down.
Yeah,
he's going to take you back.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things as well where like a man is going to be so aware of the cage behind him.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you can't stay on the outside near the cage, because soon he gets pinned up against the cage.
I think Aljamain Sterling said as soon as your foot touches the black line, you've lost. I think that's how confident he is on his getting Sean to the ground and beating him.
Yeah, but I'm gonna stick with that round 4 sub from Aljo. I reckon.
Obviously,
do you know what want to happen?
Oh yeah, let's go through the whole main card and say what we want to happen.
Yeah,
we haven't done that.
Because there's us being smart about it, and then there's what we want.
We want to add some flavour to the podcast, you know, be real. Let me bring the card up a minute. I can't think of it. So we have first fight. Let's go. What you want to happen in the Marlon Vera Pedro Munoz fight?
I want to see him kick him in the face like he did the Cruz, to be honest.
Alright, straight up real with it. Yeah, I'm gonna go same. I would love to see Marlon Vera just shut up all the haters and finish a guy who's never been finished. Or either or. I mean, I'd be just as
Oh yeah, if
excited
Munoz
if
was able
Munoz
to, yeah,
finished
definitely.
Marlon Vera. But I just want to see either of these guys finish each other. But if I had to go anyway, I just love Cheeto's mindset.
Yeah.
I think he's fresher in the sport. I think a big finish from him, I'd love that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we both know what the answer's going to be for this next fight. Ian Gary.
Gary, mate.
Obviously, we're from England. He's from Ireland. Neil Magny. I do really like Neil Magny, but at the same time,
Neil.
at the same time
man.
as well, Neil Magny has been in a lot of fights that you gotta just kind of sit through. If we're being honest.
Now I think as well. This is Ian Gary's time. This is his time.
Yeah, I think he's gonna.
I want to see him boot the head off Magny.
I think as well. I think he would have. I'm gonna say. I think he would have smoked Jeff Neal as well. Jeff Neal's a beast. We saw how he looked in Shavkat.
Mate, Ian Gary's just got that. I don't know. You know when you see someone in the ring and you watch him and you just, like you said, the aura. You can just feel that something's gonna.
Yeah. It's just when someone's that confident in themselves, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can actually tell that honest. Yeah.
He's just.
I wasn't convinced at the start, to be fair.
Nah,
but every performance it makes me think he's better and better. And that's why I did say decision and not a knockout, is because I'm still not super convinced by him. But, if he goes out and finishes Neil Magny early.
It kicks Neil Magny. Neil Magny comes in, hits him with the elbow, you know what I mean? Mate, Ian Gary can do all of that.
Yeah, he can. He
utilise.
could definitely finish Magny.
Yeah.
Who would you want to win the?
That's probably the only one that's going to be the same as my prediction, and that's what I want to happen. I want to see Whaley get smoked down the pipe.
Yeah, you think that's going to happen too, don't you?
So that's quite similar. So
yeah. Yeah, I think I'd like to see Amanda Lemos win. I just want to see Rose come back and win the title. Yeah. I think that's an easier route. But Rose moved up a weight class. She's fighting like Marion Ferrero or something like that.
Really? Yeah, that'll be a...
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
Rose is so small.
Ferrero's vicious as well.
Yeah.
Can be.
And who do you want to win the Aljamain Sean O'Malley fight?
So yeah, I've predicted round 4 sub for Aljo. Quite frankly, I want to see O'Malley knock him out in the first 3 rounds, but preferably the first 2. Keep him away on the first round. Hop, mate, because that's O'Malley, mate.
Yeah.
I really do want to see him have a belt after knocking him out.
And
Imagine he like spinning elbows him. But the problem is, as soon as he spins, Aljo's just gonna flip in pounce.
Yeah, no spinning shit in this fight.
But now you've seen. Not even his creative spinning stuff, but like I think I can't remember who it was against to do with the mustache.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, it's not Hosey Queen. Eddie Wineland.
Yeah, that's it. He comes in, right, and he
fakes the uppercut,
and then he pivots and brings it over the top, like something like that.
Yeah.
Like some sort of clever.
He's so creative, like setting traps, in those little pockets of space. And I think that's what also I was going to say. Ian Gary's really good at doing as well. The way he set up that head kick against D-Rod, I think that's the way he could finish Neil Magny as well. But yeah, I think, to be honest, I do actually like Aljamain Sterling, and I'd like to see him win and go up and try fight Volk for a double champion. I think he deserves something like that. But at the end of it, I think it's just funny, innit? If Sean wins...
And we've seen him since... We've watched him since Contender. Yeah. We watched this dude from flipping...
I mean, everyone has, really.
Yeah, mate, if you love the sport, you've watched him just smoke dudes.
Smoke people who were not meant to be fighting.
As well, mate.
Yeah.
Like...
And I also think... I think it would just be funny if Sean can win this fight, and all the people like Corey Sandhagen... I'm not saying this is funny or... I don't find it funny that Corey Sandhagen ain't got the title fight.
Yeah.
But he just jumps over all these guys with a dodgy win over Peter Yan, knocks out Aljamain Sterling, and can just talk shit to the rest of the division.
Yeah, but then those dudes, if, could say right.
Yeah, I mean, we're in some... Just keep Marab Dashvili away from Sean O'Malley. Yeah. Imagine what... Marab's going to dominate this division one.
Could you see Sandhagen and O'Malley one day?
Yeah, I think that will probably... I think if O'Malley wins, that's the next fight.
I think that'll be... Oh, mate, if that could be arranged, I'd like that.
That'd be so good. But yeah, I think I want Sean to win. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of sat on the fence with that one. I don't really mind who takes the victory. Um, just a few more things to talk about. Obviously, not going to be a super long podcast today, but there's just a couple discussion points.
Yeah, nice.
We're going on to first. Obviously, news coming out that John Jones and Stipe Miocic could be both their last fights. Obviously, we're from England. Tom Aspinall has been
My guy.
really wanting that John Jones fight. I think either way, it will open up for Tom to get the next title fight. But
Is he fighting Garn next?
I think he said he wants to fight the winner of Spivak and Garn.
Garn, yeah, of course.
But also, he said Pavlovich crossed his mind, and Pavlovich, to be honest, is the one who will be next for a title shot. Pavlovich is an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, no one. I don't know if that's the reason Tom didn't say him in the. I don't know if Tom's begging for that fight like he is the Garn on Spivak fight.
Oh, mate, I think Aspinall deals with anyone in that division right now. To be
Like
honest.
Michael, do you hear what Bisping said?
What?
He said on his podcast. He said he doesn't think John Jones could hold a lighter to Tom Aspinall.
He's just saying that for hometown pride.
Yeah, no, that is
he's
crazy.
saying that because
He seems
from
convinced.
England.
And then I saw Aspinall reply, and he was just like, "What?" And he's like,
Mate.
"I don't even think that, but thanks."
But yeah, I think there's a pathway for Aspinall, definitely.
Yeah.
But I would have loved to see him against.
Since it's not going to happen, let's go. Let's just give our predictions. Who do you think would win right now if it was Tom Aspinall fighting John Jones instead of Stipe? Because mine's going to be biased as hell. I think Tom Aspinall beats John Jones. I actually do. I think he's quicker.
I don't know. Is that because you see?
I see it.
Yeah,
I actually do.
That's what I mean. Because you see the way he beats him. Is that why you think it would? Because you can see a lot of ways how a lot of fighters could beat John Jones, and then John just goes,
Yeah, that is
"Nah,
true.
sorry, mate,
Yeah,
not
that
today."
is true. But
He just finds a way, mate.
Hmm.
You put anyone in front of John Jones, and John's just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
just another day at the office. Let's do this."
But I think also he didn't really show what he looked like at heavyweight against Garn. Obviously, the fight ended so quick. How is he going to look against Tom? Tom Aspinall was giving jiu-jitsu classes to fully grown men when he was 12 years old. His dad was like, I think he was like one of the first Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belts in the country or something like
Yeah, he's got pedigree.
that. He trains with a gym full of heavyweights.
Mate, his dad set that up so
Yeah,
well,
it's
mate.
crazy, isn't it?
It's just he's got the oh man,
Some of the beasts in that
he's got
gym.
Polish
Yeah,
champions
Cage
around him.
Warriors,
It's
yeah,
just
the KSW champions.
Yeah.
He's got fighters from what's the PFL.
PFL, mate. He's got a good team around him.
And John Jones fighting someone who's been grappling that long, who's that quick, who hits that hard, and is bigger than John Jones.
Yeah, he smokes the dude.
The stacks, it's just up against John Jones. Obviously, John Jones, I won't call him the GOAT. People can say what they want because he popped steroids 4 times, and I think he's a scumbag. I do, like the
That's
stuff.
every UFC
Yeah,
fan.
like-
Please, that's got to be.
And there's a YouTuber called, and this is going completely off topic, and
That's right.
there's a YouTuber called the MMA Guru, and Bisping did a little video response. Someone asked him a question. He was like saying he's a horrible person. He's fat. He's sad because MMA Guru just goes off on MMA fighters basically, and yeah, he's there like trying to make excuses for John Jones having battery charges against his wife. Like, just for people in the MMA community just try and sugarcoat what they want at different points.
Yeah.
It's annoying because you have fighters who should have so much respect just
They don't.
get put beneath these. Like Demetrius Johnson should be talked about like John Jones is.
Mate, I think about this a lot,
Yeah.
mate.
Like,
I think it's so disrespectful
Mm.
that man's name,
been traded for Ben Askren. Like, what is that?
mate. Oh, but yeah, mate. I'm telling. Oh yeah, but just, let's not get into
No.
that. That's mate. How must he feel?
I think he's buzzing.
You don't care.
He don't
mate. He's
care.
just thought.
I don't think he'd like Dana White either.
Nah, but mate, DJ's up there.
Yeah, and
White
he did
mouse.
it all clean. Never. Have you even heard about Demetrius Johnson? I don't think I've ever heard anyone say he's like.
And you've got a sniff of steroids.
No,
on him,
and I've never heard anyone say like, oh, he seemed a bit like a knobhead in this situation. Like everything people say about Demetrius Johnson and GSP is the same. It's just top class. And then you get to John Jones and people just try and sugarcoat it because he's the big brand, really, isn't he? But
And who else is in that conversation? There's a few people.
well, I mean, a lot of them have popped for steroids, and I mean, Anderson Silva's probably my favourite fighter of all time, and he's been done for steroids too.
Mate, it's rife. In most sports at this level, it's the way it is. Yeah. What was the other talking point about people losing
Yeah, so basically I just wanted to bring up a bit of a talking point. I don't know if you would have gave your answer earlier because you obviously gave a prediction on a certain fight. Maybe I'll change it. I'll try to think of a different one in a minute. But who do you think the champion is who's most likely to lose their title next? And I'm going to pick, obviously, Volkanovski. It looks like he might be fighting Topuria next. If he, obviously, Charles and Islam are booked, which is another one. So it's Volk Topuria, Charles and Islam Makhachev, the rematch. Do you think Charles can come back and win? Well, I put Weili against Lemos, but obviously you predicted that one already, so I'm going to take that one out.
Yeah.
And let's go with what will be the next middleweight title shot.
You were going to touch on that, Edwards.
Oh yeah, welterweight. Edwards Covington as well. So let's go Islam Charles, Volk Topuria, and Covington Edwards, which I think might have just been announced. Which is
So
who do you think is more likely to lose? Volkanovski against Topuria, Leon Edwards against Kobe Covington, or Islam Makhachev against Charles Oliveira?
I mean, no, it sounds mad. I think the Makhachev one's out of those three sounds like he's the most likely to lose. I think.
I mean, Charles is just so good, isn't he? How did Makhachev make that look so easy?
Mate, Makhachev did the same thing that Oliveira's been doing to everyone else. Yeah. Knock him out, finish him.
Yeah.
Like knock him out, sub him.
Yeah, legit.
But I mean, I think it was that punch was so winged.
He just didn't seem himself in that fight, did he?
Charles as well is that type of fighter that will just come back in. No respect for Makhachev.
Yeah, he won't care about it.
He'll walk in there and he'll slap him hard first. I'm telling you, mate. You know that. You know he'll walk in there, mate. He won't even be thinking about that last fight.
What about the Kobe Leon Edwards one? Because Kobe is an animal.
He is, but it's that same thing of like going back to it's a shame he hasn't got more power. I mean,
Leon doesn't have superpower either to keep him off him though.
Nah, but I think like he's got more than Kobe.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's the one thing. I mean, imagine if Kobe had a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because you've seen him punch dudes like loads.
Just clean overhands that just don't touch them.
Yeah, but I think some people just don't have power, do they, as much as others. But I mean, I could see that being a decent matchup.
Yeah, I think that would be a good
the wrestling, the grappling aspect to it as well. I mean, Kobe.
I mean, we've seen Kobe's wrestling throughout his career.
Yeah.
I mean, he's wrestled everyone he's fought but Usman.
Yeah.
So, but obviously those two training camps for Leon fighting Usman.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to elevate. I mean, this is it's a good fight matchup because you've had Usman Kobe, you've had Usman Edwards. Now you're going to have Edwards Kobe. It's just I think that's a brilliant little circle to round things off.
And I don't know how much we need to touch on this one. Volk, he's not losing his belts to Topuria, is he? Topuria's a beast, but he's 26.
Volk he just doesn't.
How he looked against João Rodriguez.
It was just
that was
crisp.
Oh my god. I actually can't believe how good technically Volk is.
Yeah, mate, and I think as well, it's like he will find a way. It's one of those fighters that he's just going to find a way.
Dog, isn't
he can read the fight so well, and he's just going to always have an answer. For whatever you throw at him, he's going to have an answer.
Yeah. I was actually going to put Adesanya in there. Because obviously fighting Strickland next, which Strickland's not beating Adesanya, but Dricus du Plessis might beat Adesanya.
Mate,
he just bosses his way through it. The men of all men, isn't he?
Mate, honestly, I was talking about this up at Muay Thai with some of the guys, and everyone said. Before that, I mean, Never Made Community said there's no way Robert Whittaker's going to lose.
No, I said there's no chance.
And then there was a way.
And he dominated.
That way was just
destruction.
Just walk in.
Yeah.
Mate, and he did. He just walked in, and it was the end of that first round.
Yeah, broke him, didn't he? It seemed weird. Whittaker he couldn't do nothing about it.
He had du Plessis on the end of that third round on top of him, just dropping bombs, and he's just come out of it like. But I think he could. See, we've seen Adesanya against these big dudes though.
He's probably gonna win. Let's be real.
But
And Dricus's jiu-jitsu is so underrated. He's got so many different subs on his record as
yeah,
well.
we'll wait and see.
He arm thrown Robert Whittaker. Like
Yeah,
that
I
only
mean,
works in women's
fucking-
MMA. So it's just like seeing
Yeah.
that work on Robert Whittaker was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna have to.
We're going more depth breakdown,
Yeah,
obviously.
definitely. But I think, yeah, I mean, that's another talking point.
Mm.
Definitely. I mean, we'll wait and see for when
Yeah.
that comes around. That'd be exciting.
Obviously, another thing, Conor McGregor calling out KSI at the Anthony Joshua fight to a bare knuckle
Mate,
fight.
I'm just getting bored of it,
Oh
mate.
god, it's
You know, I watch UFC because of that bloke.
yeah.
I'll admit at any
yeah.
point. When I started watching it was him. A couple of years later, maybe a guy who turns up. Stuff like that gripped me in, but I can't listen to it anymore.
No.
It's actually sad.
Do you know the sad thing is TJ Dillashaw was one of the first people who got me into the sport. Imagine him that now. He just it seems like the rattiest person. Just all the steroids and he like ended someone's career in sparring or something like that too. TJ Dillashaw. And he's talking about a comeback as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully not. I think that's basically all the talking points we've been through all today.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Combat Chatters podcast. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, spread this round. Obviously, the more you spread it, the more we grow. Check out our Spotify. We're on everything. You can find us anywhere. Make sure to listen to all the new episodes.